I'm gonna get comfortable. Because I like me some Old Forester. And you know that.
Well, we aren't drinking Old Forester.
I like me some E.H. Taylor. And you know that. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eddie.
I'm Dan.
And we're the Deathless Dogs.
And today we're drinking the best bourbon in the world.
That's right.
I didn't even know we had the best bourbon in the world sitting on our shelves, but apparently we do.
As of August 2020, E.H. Taylor Single Barrel is the top dog.
Based on the 2020 International Spirits Competition, it was voted by the panel of judges as being the best bourbon in the world.
Now, was this spirits competition done on Zoom?
It probably was.
Just people in their boxers, like, you know what? This is the one? Yeah.
That's what we're going with. Yeah, probably socially distanced spirits competitions. So this was voted on by a panel of judges. This isn't your whiskey Bible, one guy's opinion, writing it down as gospel kind of thing.
It was multiple people agreeing that this is a damn fine whiskey.
While I've had it before, and I do think it's good, I don't know that I'd call it the best in the world.
But we don't know that because we haven't analyzed it in a while.
Well, and the problem, too, is it's single barrel. So every one of them is going to be a little different, and chances are Buffalo Trace picked their very best barrel of this particular bourbon and sent it over there. Which, who wouldn't? I mean, that's what you would do.
It only makes sense.
I'm sure they have a spot that they know is producing some of their best stuff that they're already picking for the single barrels, and then they know there's like a sweet spot within said sweet spot, and they were probably monitoring a couple barrels and then picked the winner and sent it over, and it took home the crown. This particular one was a store pick by Woodman's. For those of you outside of Wisconsin, Woodman's is a grocery store
that has like a matrix load of booze. You walk in there and it's like, I want booze. And it's like, just flies out at you everywhere.
It's a pretty good spot to pick up stuff. And actually, I've been pretty impressed with their picks over the last year. You'd think with like a grocery chain, maybe it wouldn't be that great. But they actually have picked some pretty good stuff. This one I actually bought in October, which is a couple months after it won the award. I did not know it won the award at that time. I just knew that E.H. Taylor Single Barrel is kind of hard to come by. So if you see it, you buy it.
And he didn't tell me that it was there, so I didn't get one.
I took the last one, actually.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad that you at least got one then.
E.H. Taylor, Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Is that Kentucky Colonel, like Sanders, or is that like military colonel?
He demanded perfection. That's what it says here. But no, all the E.H. Taylors are bottled in bond, other than the full proof, because E.H. Taylor is like the guy that got bottled in bond to be a thing. He's one of like the forefathers of stuff we're drinking today, because the Bottled in Bond Act happened because there was a lot of like bullshit, counterfeit whiskeys and stuff like that back then. So he pushed for this like government oversight,
right,
and established like at least bare minimum you got to be doing this, otherwise like your whiskey's bullshit basically back then. So thanks.
You got the government involved in whiskey.
They all come in the tube with all the like, it's got those old graphics on it and stuff. They're going Scotch levels of like self-promotion here.
Not quite Scotch levels, because like they didn't have like an essay, but like
there's an essay. And that essay is on the tube, too. If you want to pick that up and look, it's there.
No, I don't.
Yeah, all said, I do like the label. It's a pretty classic throwbacky kind of thing, but
very distinguished.
But in kind of a kitschy kind of way. This has already been opened. I've had a couple drinks of it.
I don't know if I have or not, so I'm anxious to see what it's all about. There's like a lot of grain to this one, if that makes sense. Like I smell almost like some weediness, but also like a blended vanilla in there. It kind of reminds me of frosted mini wheats.
I don't know if I'm catching wheat. Frosting, though. I could see that. Like a
cornflakes, frosted mini wheats, like a frosted breakfast cereal.
A little bit of fruit, though. Dark cherries.
All in all, extremely pleasant.
Yeah, it smells great.
We always kind of talk about how things kind of smell like a candle and you'd burn it in your house. This would be one that you might want in your house.
So we might as well dive in because yeah, I haven't drank this in months.
All right, clink them and drink them. The smell shines through in the flavor.
It really does. You get a bunch of sweetness up front and almost more cherries on the exhale, you know?
It's like a cherry Coke almost with a little bit of vanilla in there.
Yeah, I can
All
see
in
that.
all, just pleasant. Like, there is nothing wrong with this. There's even a bit of peppery spiciness, and I think that's from the fact that it's 100 proof.
You're almost in like a Dr. Pepper territory, like a cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. 100 proof, like just enough burn, but not like a bite on the back end in the swallow or anything. Like burn stays on your tongue. A little bit of a hug going on, not a huge one, but I mean, all in all, very, very drinkable.
The mouth feels kind of middle of the road too. It doesn't really like completely coat your mouth. The flavor that comes out is a sweetness and like a black cherry thing that's going on with a little bit of pepperiness. It's very, very good.
I'll say I do like this right now way better than when I first opened it. The first pour I had out of it, it was good, but it wasn't like this. Like this is much better. The neck pour can always be a little weird on every bottle, and so the neck pour was like, oh, this is good, but I feel like the neck pour was like mega cherries the first time I had it, to a point of almost being off-putting. And then the second glass I had out of it, I quite enjoyed it, and this now is this is great. Really
This is like very subtle. The burn isn't really long lasting.
No.
There's still, as we're speaking, like black cherry flavor in my mouth. Think almost like Lifesavers black cherries.
Sure.
We're not talking like cough syrup cherries.
No.
This is like actual like fruit cherries or like candied cherries of 2021. I know the year is young, but this I'm going to be thinking about. I could see this as a contender for one of the better whiskeys I've had in 2021.
The price point on this is between 60 and 70 most places. I think I paid like 69, 99, you know, right in that wheelhouse. Didn't get gouged on it. I know people were worried after it won the award, as things happen, prices can skyrocket on this stuff. I have seen people in whiskey groups selling it for as much as $100. I guess before we even get into the would you buy it again, do you think this is the best bourbon in the world? I mean, I don't think we're qualified to make that claim. We haven't drank enough. We're not on that like super taster level of these people. But just of the things we've had, does this surpass all of them?
I don't know if it like surpasses all of them, and I like this a lot.
I would say this is definitely one of the better whiskeys we've had in here, but I would still take the Stag Junior over this. And I don't even think like Stag Junior is the best whiskey we have. I'm just saying, of its own mash bill, I don't even think it's the best. We don't know what the barrel they had tasted like. It could have been like sent from heaven. You don't know. But based on this one, it tastes great. There's nothing wrong with it. I would
happily pay $70 for this bottle.
I would go as high as 100 because it's harder to find.
I would probably agree with you.
Finding it at retail, instant buy. If you ever see E.H. Taylor single barrel between 60 and 70, you just scoop it immediately. Over 100, I'm gonna have trepidation about buying it. But yeah, I would say the Stag Junior we had was better than this, or at least is more what I'm looking for. I would take this over Eagle Rare, over Buffalo Trace, 100%. 10 out of 10 times. I would rather drink this than those. And I'd like those other ones just fine, but I'm saying I think this is much better than those. But if given the choice, if you're have them both sitting on a shelf and you can either buy this or Stag Junior, I'm buying Stag Junior.
I guess it depends on the time of year and what you're in the mood for. Stag Junior might actually lend better to the polar vortex we currently find ourselves in. This one might be more suited for like an April or May style. The seasons are getting warmer.
Summery kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's just too, it's like I like higher proof stuff. This one has a very pleasant burn. Stag Junior just brings that punch that I'm like,
And
fuck yes.
I love both of them.
Yeah. But which one would you pick? If you saw them on the show, you can either take a Colonel Taylor single barrel or a Stag Junior. Okay. They're both priced the same.
They're both priced the same. I've actually seen Stag Junior on the shelves more than I've seen an E.H. Taylor single barrel. So I might actually take the single barrel because, again, I really do like the black cherry flavor that this bourbon brings.
Have you had the E.H. Taylor single barrel, and what do you think? Would you call it the best whiskey in the world? Would it even make like your top 5 whiskeys that you've had?
We should talk about that. I mean, would you consider this to be in your top 5?
It's in the conversation.
Certainly in the top 10, maybe?
Definite top 10. Easy top 10. I don't want to go through like what they would all be. I just know there are things that I've drank that I've actually been like, damn.
This was honestly like a very pleasant surprise to the point where I was almost like, damn.
Let us know what you thought of it. There's going to be some variants, obviously, being single barrels, but generally they're going to have a similar kind of thing going for them. Let us know what you think the best whiskey in the world is in the comments, too, because, maybe we have it, maybe we have never had it, and
maybe we can find it somewhere if you know where to find the best booze ever.
The best booze in the world. I think the title that it won was deserved at the time, I'm sure. It's not one guy writing some book after he eats like rice and plain chicken for a week and just like abstains from sex and it wasn't.
Is that like a thing?
And I think it's like, dude, you're abstaining from sex and then you're talking about whiskey like busting in your mouth and stuff. It's like, hey, you should probably just have some more sex. Then maybe you wouldn't say such weird shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Those numbers are going up, and we like to see that.
Send us fresh bottle poppin' videos.
Yeah, if you're fresh bottle poppin' whiskeys, take a video, send it in. We'll put it in our video. And if you want, we'll give you like a shout-out on your Instagram handle or whatever it may be.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Cheers.